So far we've created the countries model, we've created the countries controller with several different methods, and then we created the routes. So in this video we'll try and create the view, which is the last thing that the user will eventually see, and then all the other things we've been creating is just like the back end that will work things out. Alright, so we go to resources, we go to views, and then there are these different folders. We're just going to create ours, and to do that I'll simply copy an existing one. Let me just look for posts, copy, and inside on views I'll click paste. So it's pasted the entire folder for me. So I will now rename this folder and call it countries. Remember, it's supposed to be plural. Okay, right here we have countries folder with all this. Let us start with the list of countries, which is index. So I click on index. Remember, from the countries controller, the index file is just supposed to list all countries. So if we go to the index.twig, it does a very important thing, which is basically we'll replace all appearances of posts. So we'll just say that this is a countries, and we don't need by anybody. So we just need to know that this is a list of countries, and that is countries. And then what is basically happening here is using a for loop to say for each posts. Okay, so if we go back to our countries, we'll see that there is a countries variable passed into this view, not a posts variable. So if we go back to our index, we can now say that this is countries. This variable, this is an array that contains a list of countries that we need, and then we'll say country. So we are picking each country. This is a loop that picks each country from this countries array. So if I just copy this, I'll just make sure, oops, if I copy, I'll make sure that everywhere there's countries, I can just replace. Let me copy this one. So this is a link that leads to country. We don't have title in our countries, we just have name and then country code. So say we don't need user. So what we'll do is beside the country we'll just add the code. So this is strong. I'm just bringing this down. So country name, beside the country we'll add a code. It's a country code. Alright, and that's all we need in a country. So we just remove all this post by, we just remove all this row, eliminate the row. So that's very good. And down here, this is a new post. Instead of new post, we can say new country. So inside the new country, we'll just say countries, add. So somebody clicks on new country. This is the button, as you can see. We'll see it very soon. Somebody clicks on new country, and it takes them to add countries. Okay, and that pretty much sorts. This is not a post ID. This is country ID. Forgot that one. So that pretty much sorts out all our problems. Okay, so we can go and check it out to see what it looks like. So if we go to our so make sure that your server is running. I have my server here. I'm just going to make sure PHPS or something. So you run this to start your server. Copy this, go to our browser, open a new page, a new tab, paste and go. So it should open our raw PHP app. Our app is open right now. So what we're going to do is, remember that from our routes, if you go back to our route file, we'll see that the countries is actually inside the auth middleware, which means the user must be logged in before they can see this. If we don't want it to be inside the auth middleware, we can just do this. So the user doesn't need to be logged in before they can view anything with countries. So let's just try that for now. So we have countries slash index. Remember that the countries index points to the index controller that will display a list of countries. So if we do that, we can just hit enter, and let's see how it goes. So we have an error that says countries controller does not exist. That is because we created it manually. We created the controller manually, which means we still have to add it in the config. So if you go to, let me minimize everything. If you created your controller manually, unlike in the next method I will show you, you will just have to go to config folder, controller config, click on it. At the bottom of the file, you add the name of the controller you created. So you have to do this for every controller if you created it manually. So we're going to call this countries controller, and we're going to replace the roles controller with countries controller. So once you have done this, our app should come back up and run perfectly. So I'll reload. So that's it. As you can see, we have a list of countries, Afghanistan, and all their codes. A list of countries and all their codes. So if we get back to our code, we'll see that this is what displays a list of countries and all their codes for us. So now, if you wanted to do something more interesting, you can just play around with your HTML skills, which is basically we'll create an ordered list and close it, ordered list. I'm trying to number the countries, alright? So, and we'll put this under, put the for loop inside, and we end the for. So now we have this. What we can do is to create a li. Okay, so we have li as the list. If you know your HTML, you understand what I'm doing right now. So right now we can just copy the country, paste it here. So we're trying to number the countries, alright? So I'm just going to copy out this one temporarily. Say okay. If I come here and refresh, as you can see, our countries are now numbered serially from 1 to 245. Alright, this looks better to me. I don't know about you, so it depends on what you want to do. And remember that this new country button is here. So if you click on new country, it should take you to a page that will demand that you add a new country. But then we've not worked on our new country view, so we may expect to see some errors. I've clicked on it, and there is no error so far. It works well. Alright, so in the next video, we'll look at the method and be sure that the method that handles creation of a new country works perfectly well. So thank you very much. See you in the next video.